Alright, hello everybody, this should now be on. Welcome to the patch 12.10 patch notes full speculation review thing that I'm doing. Throughout this video, I'm going to be going through every single champion as they're being changed. First, we're going to go over the changes, and we're going to go through every single champion, and we're going to be asking the following questions. Is that champion S tier, overbuffed, A tier, buffed, B tier, about the same, C tier, nerfed, D tier, over nerfed? This patch is a colossal patch incoming into League of Legends, and let's go through the changes first. So, Grievous Wounds has been nerfed. I'm not going to scroll down because this is a very long thing. I remembered the changes. Grievous Wounds has been nerfed. Instead of 40-60% healing debuff, it is now 30-50% healing debuff. So Grievous Wounds reduces healing less. Shields have been nerfed across the board. Heals have been nerfed across the board. Vamp has been nerfed across the board. Everybody get that? Okay. The base health of every single champion in League, every single character, everyone in League of Legends is getting 70 more health, 14 more health per level, coming out to about 300 health at level 18, 1.2 more armor per level, coming up to about 20 armor at level 18, and 0.8 more magic resist per level, coming out to about 12 more magic resist at level 18. Every single champion in League is getting a very large increase to their durability. In addition to the nerfs on survivability things, just every champion is getting, well, changed. They're all getting changed. You guys get that? So what I'm going to be doing right now is, here are the things I just talked about. But before we get through the champions, I want to talk about some overall changes that have happened. We're going to talk about, here's the end of the champions. Before we go through and start ranking every single champion, whether or not they get nerfed, etc., we're going to talk about the system changes that are happening in the game that will very likely be impacting things. So, Thornmail got its healing debuff nerfed. I'm going to skip through these healing debuff nerfs because everybody gets it, right? The regular healing debuffs are now 30% instead of 40%. The super healing debuffs are now 50% instead of 60%. Does everybody get that? Okay, I'm hoping we get that. Before we go any further, by the way, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave a comment down below. Doing all those things and leaving your thoughts helps me out substantially. So here are all the healing debuff items. You see they're all getting nerfed. Okay. Magic Pen on Void Staff is going down from 45% down to 40%. Blighting Jewel Magic Pen is going down from 15% to 13%. Lord Dominic's Regards Armor Pen is going down from 35% to 30%. Last Whisper Armor Pen is going down from 20% to 18%. Demonic Embrace is being nerfed from 2/1.2% health damage per second to 1.8 magic damage, health damage per second. Moonstone Renewer is getting its healing reduced from 70 flat to 60, from 6% heal and shield power per second to 5% per second. So from 30% total to 25% total. The heal from the Mythic passive has also been reduced from 10 to 8. So Moonstone Renewer actually has received, I'm going to call this from here on out, remember this word, disproportionate. Riot wants to nerf healing and shielding and vamp by 10%. If you're being nerfed by more than 10%, I'm going to call that a disproportionate nerf. So, in other words, Riot believed that with the increased survivability and the nerf to Merlinomicon and all those healing debuff items, that even a 10% nerf was not enough for Moonstone Renewer, so it received a disproportionately large nerf. Everybody get that? Okay, so Moonstone Renewer got nerfed harder than other items. Death's Dance also received a disproportionate nerf, going from 175% to 150% bonus AD. Not super disproportionate, but a little bit. Sunfire Aegis, because obviously, much like Demonic Embrace, if people survive more, these sustained damage items will do more effect. Everybody gets that, right? So Sunfire Aegis also had its damage amp reduced from 12% per second to 10%. So it caps out at 60% instead of 72% bonus damage. This is because early in this season, was it this season? Yeah, they buffed Sunfire Aegis' survivability, its armor and magic resist, and then added 50 health to its mythic passive because people were doing way too much damage and nobody could ever stack Sunfire Aegis, so they made it tankier. Well, Now that everyone's going to be tankier and last for longer, Sunfire Aegis, much like Demonic Embrace, in case you guys want to understand the ramifications here, these two items, when champions live longer, they'll do more damage throughout a fight. Sustained damage was massively overtuned by Riot because everyone was dying in one hit, that if you had sustained damage, you basically needed to have burst per second. Instead of damage per second, you basically needed to have burst per second because you would only live 3 or 4 seconds. So Sunfire was pretty overtuned on the idea that very rarely would you ever live long enough to actually proc it. Demonic Embrace, same idea. Does everybody get this? So everyone getting more survivability, most penetration items getting nerfed means that these tankish items also need to get nerfed. I'm just making this clear because I don't want to in the future, because this is going to be a very long tier list going through every champion. I don't want to have to go back here 900 times to explain this. Divine Sunder got its healing nerfed pretty hard as well. It actually got a disproportionate nerf as well, going from 7.8% of your health as healing to 6%. Divine Sunder is still, even with this nerf, might be overpowered because it does percent health damage and percent health healing based on your opponent's health. So if everyone has more health, it's going to heal for more. So even though it got nerfed by more than 10%, even though it got disproportionately nerfed, the thing is that it still might be overpowered, particularly because in longer fights, Divine Sunder also didn't get its penetration nerfed. It still caps off at 20% armor and magic pen. So whereas Lord Dominic's got nerfed to 30%, you can now get 30% from Lord Dominic's regards, but 20% armor and magic from Divine Sunder. I'm just saying, I think Divine Sunder might actually be stronger despite being nerfed. Doran's Ring, because everyone's going to be tankier, obviously mages are going to need more mana to kill people. Does everybody understand that? So Doran's Ring, instead of getting 0.75 mana per second, upgraded to 1.25, is now 1, upgraded to 1.5. The healing, instead of mana, has been reduced to 45%. So if you didn't have mana, you would heal on, I'm just going to map this out. Yeah, 0.375. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, okay, the healing did get buffed. I'm being really dumb with my math here. Yeah, so the healing, if you don't have mana, you do get slightly more healing as well. Despite the fact that they nerfed its value, the base value went up. So if you need... Okay, it's weird. I don't know why they did that. So in other words, Doran's Ring gets more mana regen, but if you didn't even have mana in the first place, then Doran's Ring also gives you more healing, which is kind of a weird Mordekaiser buff. Elixir of Wrath got substantially nerfed from 15% physical vamp to 12%. I think that's fair, but I think what they really should have done is made it like Conqueror, made it ignore AoE, and then made it like 8%. Because right now, Elixir of Wrath... So the thing is, in the late game, particularly AD carries are the ones who use Elixir of Wrath the best. Despite the fact that late game they won't be being one-shot, most of the physical damage champions do AoEs. Remember, AoEs get their healing reduced to 33%. For some reason. I guess because you could hit multiple people. I don't know. Anyway, single target champions always abuse this sort of healing the most. So, personal opinion, if you wanted to ensure that AD carries couldn't buy Elixir of Wrath in the hyper late game now that they're going to be tankier, you probably should have reduced it to like 8% with full healing on AoEs like Conqueror. Fimbulwinter got nerfed because shields. I don't think it even needed to be nerfed. It was not a very good item. Gargoyle Stoneplate got nerfed from 100% bonus health to 90%, but it keeps the 100 flat. This is... I'm not sure they needed to even do this. Gore Drinker got nerfed as well. Pretty hard, actually. The Omnivamp from 10% to 8%, and the heal... So, Gore Drinker lost 25%. Sorry, no, Gore Drinker lost 20% of its healing, not 10%. That's really bad. I'm not sure why they did that. They originally weren't going to nerf the active. They were only going to nerf the Omnivamp. So that's pretty bad. That'll come up later. Hailblade, that's the jungler item. The Omnivamp on jungle nerfed. Omnivamp on jungle nerfed. I'm not sure why they had to do that. It's not like the jungle could ever healing debuff you. So, okay. Knight's Vow nerfed, not by that much. It was, I don't even know if it needed to be nerfed. Maw of Malmortius got nerfed. Maw, okay. Lock of the Iron Solari got nerfed. That's probably fair. Mikhail's Blessing nerfed. Phage nerfed. Why? And it got nerfed by 20% from melee. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they disproportionately nerf Phage of all things? Okay, whatever. Redemption nerfed. Yeah, like, why does Redemption get the 10% nerf, but Phage gets the 20%? Right? Like, why does Gore Drinker get 20% nerf, but Redemption gets a 10%? It doesn't make any sense to me. Riftmaker only gets a 1% nerf, which is fine. Riftmaker is a bit weak, but now... Okay. In comparison, Riftmaker's actually getting stronger, so this is a bit odd. Seraph's Embrace is getting nerfed pretty hard. I'm not... Once again, I don't understand how they're deciding to do this. Like, why does Seraph's Embrace get the big nerf? Who is building Seraph's Embrace, Riot? Why is this item being targeted for the big nerf? Shredded True Ice gets more mana regen. Sterg's Gauge gets a tiny nerf. Did they even really need to? Vampiric Scepter gets a little nerf. Bloodthirster. Why does Bloodthirster get the 10% nerf, but Gore Drinker gets the 20% nerf? Riot? Okay. Eclipse gets a mini nerf, and then gets a mini nerf on a shield. Why does Eclipse get the 10% nerf, and Gore Drinker gets the 20%? Shield Bow gets another 10%. So Shield Bow gets the 10%. Gore Drinker. Does Riot think Gore Drinker is dominating the game? Hello? Riot? Do you think Gore Drinker is the strongest item? Wait, I'm legitimately confused. Because the last time they were unveiling these, they weren't nerfing the active, and they were just nerfing the passive Omnivamp. Now they come out and slash the active healing by 20% as well. Riot, do you think Gore Drinker is dominating the game? Okay. Conditioning's getting nerfed. This is because percent pen is getting nerfed. So they're nerfing conditioning. That's fine. Gore Drinker is nerfed. By the way, I saw this. Gore Drinker is being nerfed. Its healing is being nerfed by 33%. 33%, Riot. Do you think Conqueror is dominating the game again? I'm confused because top lane is becoming very much lethal tempo and grasp of the undying based, and you aren't nerfing lethal tempo. I cheated. I read that ahead. They're not nerfing lethal tempo. Everyone's gonna be more survivable. Okay, and they're nerfing Conqueror's healing by 33%, but they're not nerfing lethal tempo. Okay. Font of Life getting nerfed. Did they even have to? Did Font of Life ever reach more than like 200 healing a game? Grasp the Undying is getting nerfed by 15%. A bit disproportionate. Well, let's see. The heal is being nerfed by 15%. The damage is being nerfed by... Isn't that... 1/8? 1/8. Wait, how come they make these ugly as shit numbers like 1.02% for ranged healing? But then when it comes to damage, they're like, we're gonna have to nerf that to 3.5%. Wouldn't want an ugly number. Let's nerf it by an 1/8. A 10th? Ew, that would be 3.6%. What an ugly number. Not at all like 1.02%. Beautiful. Okay. Guardian nerfed. Yeah. Guardian is, let's see, so the flat healing on Guardian isn't really going down, but the scaling is going down by a bit more. I'm not really sure. Okay. Nullifying Orb is getting a nerf once again. Who built this? This one's like the opposite. The scaling is barely going down, but the flat is getting nerfed. So they're basically, okay, whatever, I don't care. Overheal's getting nerfed. Summon Airy. The shield is getting nerfed. Taste of Blood. Who even goes into domination anymore? That's getting nerfed. Triumph is getting nerfed. Hey, actually, I want to tell Riot something about Triumph. Here's why I don't think Triumph should be nerfed. Let me explain this to you guys. Riot, do you realize Triumph was literally added into the game when healing debuffs were still 40%? and it was nerfed to 12%. See, here's the thing, right? You don't need a nerf Triumph because it's been in the game since before you buffed healing. This will come up later when I talk about why are they nerfing heal? What? Why are they nerfing heal? I'm sorry, I read ahead and I gotta laugh at this one. Who? What? When? Where? Why? Who? What? Okay. Barrier is getting nerfed too? What? Okay. Okay. I don't really understand. Okay. Ignite is getting nerfed to 50%. Should have nerfed it all the way to 30%, but it's a start. And Smite is getting nerfed because I guess the jungle... Okay, here's my opinion. Here's my conspiracy theory. Riot has wanted to nerf the amount of healing in the jungle for years, but they finally, like, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it because, like, they didn't want to piss off junglers. So now they're beating the shit out of the healing for junglers while pretending they're doing it because they're nerfing healing debuffs. Remind me, which jungler, which jungle mob healing debuffed? They need to nerf the healing from Smite and the jungle item because they're nerfing healing debuffs. So they're... Do you see what I mean? They're just using this as an excuse to finally nerf jungler healing. Okay. And I believe that's everything. Oh, turrets are getting buffed. Baron is getting buffed. Ocean Dragon is getting its percent healing nerfed, Mountain Soul nerfed, Ocean Soul nerfed, all this stuff. This is not... Oh, okay. This is the only change they are doing to any champion in the game, by the way. The only champion receiving direct changes, as in they're actually receiving balance patches unrelated to anything else on this patch. The only champion receiving direct changes is Swain. Okay. Swain will now automatically cast Demon Flare where demonic conception expires. That's not that big a deal. Swain will now fully reveal his demonic power upon champion takedowns. So if Swain kills the champion, he gets full passive. This will come up later. And by later, I mean now. I'm just going to look over it right now. Swain's healing is being massively nerfed. Late game, instead of 65 healing plus 25% AP, it's going down to 45 plus 20%. So I'm actually going to make Swain the first champion I pull in here. Swain is getting slightly nerfed. They're reducing his healing substantially, but they're making it so that his ultimate now fully comes back. But he's going from 4 to 9% healing to 3.5 to 7%. Swain... First champion, Swain is actually getting a slight nerf. But to be fair, I think most people saw that coming. So this is not a big surprise. Now, with everything in mind, I just wanted everyone to get on the same page. So as we start going through this tier list, we can all agree on this, okay? So remember, S tier is overbuffed, A tier is buffed, B tier is about the same, C tier is nerfed, D tier is over-nerfed. Does everybody get this? Okay? Everybody understands this? Because I don't want people coming in here and being like, how did you put a champion in C tier? They'll still be powerful. Yes, I do agree. If I put a champion in C tier, they could still be powerful. However, in comparison to where they are before this patch, that is where I'm placing them. Does everybody get that? Okay. So... Aatrox, healing against champions is going down from 20 to 30% to 18 to 26%. His empowered healing is going from 26 to 50% to 25 to 45%. His self-healing from his ultimate is going from 30 to 60% to 25 to 55%. So Aatrox, in my opinion, is actually being nerfed. The Gore Drinker change, I was actually going to put him on B tier because here's the thing. If everyone has more survivability, that makes it harder for burst champions like Aatrox to kill them, right? But in return, healing debuffs were nerfed, so Aatrox could potentially heal more. But here's the thing. Nerfing his early game by reducing the amount of healing he gets against champions by 10% means that even before he gets ignited, even before his opponents get a healing debuff, just at level 2 forwards, he's already taking a 10% healing nerf. He does heal percent health damage on his passive, but Aatrox heals entirely on post-mitigation damage, meaning the more armor people have will make it harder for him to deal damage. He'll do less damage, therefore heal for less. Then people will be tankier, so he won't be able to kill them in one combo. And that in combination with the vast 20% nerf to Gore Drinker means, in my opinion, Aatrox is getting nerfed. Now, Ahri. This one actually is pretty clear to anyone who knows this. Ahri's passive is being nerfed from 40 to 120 to 35 to 95. The AP ratio is also being nerfed from 25% to 20%. The heal upon champion takedowns is also coming down. This is almost a 20% nerf on healing in the lane. The healing out of the lane is a little bit less. I think, and this is my opinion, the nerf to Void Staff, remember the tier list, the nerf to Void Staff, the nerf to her lane healing, the slight nerf, okay, it's actually less than 10%. She will heal on champions slightly more once you consider healing debuffs. I think Ahri is actually slightly being nerfed as well. Her reliance on burst, her reliance on her ultimate, and the fact that, here's the thing, Ahri was never healing debuffed when she healed on minions. So by reducing her minion healing almost 20%, they're just nerfing her laning phase, and yeah. So I think the nerf to Void Staff, the nerf to all that stuff, I think Ahri actually ends up weaker. Akshan, he's barely getting, his shield isn't even getting nerfed at level 1. Wait, are you shitting me? So his shield isn't even being nerfed at level 1. It's only being nerfed by 3. Am I reading this right? It's being nerfed by 6% at level 18. So he's getting a 0 to 6% nerf on his shield. And the AD ratio is only coming down by an 1/8. Okay, so Akshan is not actually on this list. Okay, this list I found doesn't actually list Akshan. I'm gonna put Akshan in A tier if he was here. That's weird. Oh, Akali. Akali will be about the same. She's not listed on their official patch notes. Sorry, there's going to be some discrepancies here because I found this tier list on Tier List Maker and it doesn't have every champion. And some of the champions they don't list in here. Akshan, I would 100% say is being directly buffed. There's no question in my mind. As an AD carry, he's being buffed because he won't die as easily. And they are barely nerfing his shield. Unlike, they're going so far as to nerf heal, which hasn't been changed in years. In years. But they won't nerf Akshan's shield. They'll nerf shit that hasn't been touched in a decade, but Akshan gets a 0 to 6% nerf on his shield. What the fuck? Okay, Alistar. I'm actually gonna put Alistar's nerfed as well. Here's my opinion on Alistar. I think that right now, okay, once again, this healing is totally out of combat, so it doesn't really matter. So far as the laning phase is concerned, it doesn't really matter if Alistar was healing debuff, because he healed in the laning phase out of combat, right? In addition, Alistar his cooldowns are still pretty long. So if Alistar doesn't kill you in one combo, you kind of just walk away. In addition, he doesn't really have any base tankiness. Or I should say, his ultimate runs out if fights are longer. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm being a bit confusing here. But at anything, I think Alistar gets nerfed. I think he gets weaker from this. Annie, okay, so here's the thing. They're barely nerfing Annie's shield. Barely. But to be fair to Annie, she is a burst champion, and burst champions are going to be weaker if everyone's tankier, and Void Staff is getting nerfed. So here's the thing. I think Annie, I'm tentatively gonna put her in B tier, but I think she's actually getting nerfed from being a hard burst champion. I'm gonna put her in nerf tier. I think most champions are being nerfed, by the way, because basically anyone who bursts is being nerfed. Amumu wasn't listed, he's being buffed. Anivia's not listed, she's being buffed. That one should be pretty clear. These are sustained damage champions and tanks. So I think they're both getting stronger. This isn't... Don't give a shit about the order, okay? At any rate, Alistar will end up weaker because his cooldowns are too long. If he doesn't kill you in his opening combo, he just stands around and goes, "Peh, peh." It does no damage, right? Annie, I think, is getting a slight nerf. Despite her shield barely getting nerfed, and this seems to be Ride's compensation, she is a burst champion, and if she can't burst you down, she doesn't really do anything. Aphelios is getting a slight nerf on his Severum. Severum overheal is unchanged. Our Severum heal upon champion hit is barely going down. I think Aphelios gets buffed. As an AD carry, basically, just to be clear, basically every single AD carry is getting buffed because they'll be tankier, and that's their weakness, is getting burst. So, likewise, I think Ashe is actually going to be overbuffed. That's my opinion on Ashe. Here's the thing. Ashe currently has a build right now, the Rageblade on hit build, that is actually doing good. And the problem is that, this is what I mentioned with sustain damage. Sustain damage right now is monstrously overtuned because everyone dies in one hit. Does everybody get that? So Wit's End is broken as fuck. And by the way, I can't understand why Wit's End isn't being nerfed on this patch. Wit's End is broken as fuck. So Wit's End, Rageblade, Kraken Slayer, that build that Ashe is doing is actually viable right now. And now imagine it when everyone is getting their burst nerfed. She'll be way stronger. Aurelion Soul. Oh boy, I'm actually a bit torn on Aurelion Soul. What do you guys think about that one? Oh boy, so he's got good sustain damage, but it's not great sustain damage. He kind of still does rely on burst. I don't know, dude. I gotta feel like maybe he's being buffed because Rylai's and shit. If he's not getting one shot, I think he actually does get slightly buffed, in my opinion. Especially because he's not getting any shield nerfs or anything like that. Yeah, I think he does. I think Azir, okay, Azir, is he getting nerfed? His shield is getting toned down by, what? It's like, once again, it's like 5%. Why, Riot? Why do you play so biased towards... Gore Drinker loses 20% of its healing. Azir, they're like, oh man, Azir's getting massively buffed. Guys, let me dead fucking ass. I'm gonna look this shit up for you guys. Azir's only weakness right now... Okay, they already changed it in the wiki, but he had 70 armor at level 18. Now he's got 90 after these changes. It will be nearly fucking impossible with, look at this fucking HP, 2,645 motherfucking health with 90 armor. He will be tankier after the patch than Darius is now. And you're telling me this champion who does, his damage per second isn't even damage per second. It's like kills per second. He gets kills per second. Look at his fucking AP ratio on every Sand Soldier attack. Every single Sand Soldier, every single attack has a 0.6 AP ratio, and every single Sand Soldier that attacks in addition to that adds damage. And you're telling me, Riot, you only nerfed his shield slightly. Yeah, this champion is very overbuffed. Bard, they're nerfing his self-healing. They're not even nerfing the AP ratio. They're just like, Bard, look, you gotta get a nerf, dude, but they don't really give a shit. I think Bard will be about the same. Yeah. Blitzcrank, okay, I actually think Blitzcrank will get a nerf. Are they nerfing Blitz any? They actually aren't nerfing Blitz's passive. I don't know. Let me think here. If they're not nerfing his passive, Blitz might be a B tier. But the thing is, he does rely on one-shotting you. But the other thing, okay, I'm actually gonna put Blitzcrank at B tier. Here's the thing. I think champions will still die easy enough that if you get hit by a Blitzcrank pull, 90% of the time, you're still gonna die. It's not like, oh, I have 300 HP. If you got killed in today, then you're gonna die tomorrow, even with those survivability buffs, right? Like, people get killed by like 3 times their health bar right now. Now, while as Alistar, I believe, if he can't kill you in one combo, he can't do anything. Blitzcrank, if he hits a pull, you die. So yeah, Brand. Are they nerfing anything on Brand? No, Brand's not getting any nerfs. Okay, so Brand. How about a Brand of B tier? Okay, so here's the thing. While Brand is based heavily on sustained damage, and while Demonic Embrace is being nerfed, they aren't nerfing Liandry's. And Brand does do a decent chunk of burst damage. And here's the thing. I'm going to be bringing this up a lot, so get used to me checking champions on the wiki. If I look at this, they have updated his stats. Now that Brand can't be killed in one hit, that does make him much easier to play. Brand's only weakness was Talon would run up, jump over a wall, do like a fucking Assassin's Creed, like 8-0, just fucking like barrel roll over the wall, somersault into him, go into stealth, and Brand is dead from full. If Talon can't do that, that makes Brand significantly more playable. So despite the Void Staff nerf, despite the Demonic Embrace nerf, I think Brand is actually going to be buffed straight up. Actually, I think even with the nerf to Void Staff and Demonic, I think he still gets buffed. Braum, A tier. Let me explain this one. I'm gonna have to go in the wiki a lot, guys, so bear with me on this one, because I want to defend and explain all my opinions, correct? I don't want to I'm not just making bullshit theories here. I'm actually explaining stuff, okay? Braum, as of this patch, so the one that's live now, but by the time you guys watch this video, very likely, I know some of you are watching it now, but most of you are going to be watching this tomorrow, right? Based on now, Braum's passive got buffed from 8 to 6 to 8 to 4 seconds cooldown. So Braum got a buff very recently, giving him far more sustained power in a fight. In addition, his shield went up from 35 to 50, or sorry, from 30 to 40 to 35 to 55. So Braum is going to be tankier, and he will be able to double stun people much easier. Okay? So I think Braum actually gets slightly buffed, in my opinion. Caitlyn, she gets buffed because she's an AD carry. I think every single AD carry in the game is getting buffed minimum. Camille, okay, so Camille's the very next champion who got changes here. Her shield is actually being nerfed 15%, not 10%, but the thing with Camille's shield is it's based on her base HP. So, because everyone got 70 more base HP, that will make Camille, well, better, right? Here's the thing. I think Camille actually gets slightly buffed. She can still go Divine Sunder to get percent health true damage. She'll still do Q2, Q1, Q2 in her mid-game combo for 24% health true damage. So, yeah, I think that Camille actually particularly gets buffed. I don't think it's going to be a large buff, but I think she gets slightly better. At best, she'll be about the same in power. I think I gotta lean towards her getting buffed, though. Cassiopeia, I don't need to read anything. Overbuffed. This is what I was talking about earlier. They are nerfing her healing by about 20% rather than 10%. Here's the thing. It doesn't fucking matter. Cassiopeia, all sustained damage in the game has been massively over turbo buffed because burst damage is too high. So any champion that does sustained damage is getting very, very large overbuffed because they are overbuffed because they get one shot. So they need to do 10 trillion DPS because they get one shot. Does everybody get that? Okay. Cho'Gath. Okay, so this is really weird on Cho'Gath, and I'm not really sure why they're doing this. They're nerfing Cho'Gath's healing, which is entirely out of combat, only on minions, never when healing debuffed. I don't understand at all. I literally don't fucking understand. I think Cho'Gath is like the only tank I'm actually going to be putting at about the same. I think he would have been buffed had they not randomly as fuck nerfed his laning phase for no reason. Right? It's just like, fuck it. Amumu nerfs? No. Cho'Gath? Go fuck that guy. I don't understand Cho'Gath at all. When I read this, I was actually thinking to myself, why? Why? In the late game, it's going from 71 to 52. It's not like they're nerfing his healing a little bit late game. They're nerfing it by like 30%. late game. Why? Why? Okay, so Darius's Q healing is going from 15% to 13%. Base health is going up. The only weakness Darius has, and I'll give him this one. Let me look up the stats here. With everyone having significantly better stats. So like, okay, if I could here, let me actually I'm gonna see if I can show you this actually. So like if we compare Azir to Darius right now, you can see Azir's health compared to Darius's health. You can see that the armor difference is only like it's 90 compared to 127, which is okay, that's a lot, right? But the health, Azir actually has more health. But now that Azir used to have lots of health but low armor, but now that he's got good armor and extremely good HP, it makes champions like Darius, who used to have slightly above average HP but good armor. Armor does have, whether or not you want to admit it, you're gonna bring out the math and type in the notepad and all that shit. Armor does have quasi-diminishing returns. So champions with high armor don't get as much from this as a champion like Azir does. However, he does get more health, which means his missing health is better. Healing debuffs do get nerfed, and his Q 90% of the time was being ignited. So actually, if I break this out for you, because I want to prove my point here, let me actually, I'm going to make this a bit bigger for you guys. Oh, okay, I mean, I guess it doesn't like being that big. Oh, okay, whatever. Okay, so if you take 15% healing and you remove 60% of that, if Darius was ignited, he healed 6% of his missing HP. After this change, he will now heal 6.5% of his missing HP if he's ignited. In other words, in the laning phase, when Darius goes for the all-in and he gets ignited, he actually will heal for more. He actually will heal for more. In the late game, if he's 60% ignited, he actually will heal for more. So, with Darius's extremely good sustain damage, with this, I mean, Darius didn't use Gorge Ranker, he didn't use any of those other items. At most, he used Death's Dance, right? So, actually, I'm gonna put Darius tentatively in S tier. Tentatively. I'm not sure. There is a weakness here. Again, armor does have some diminishing returns. People will be tankier. If Darius can't kill you late game with the 5 bleed Trinity W proc into ult, if he can't just 2-tap the AD carry with W into ult, that does give him weaknesses. I'm actually going to put him into A tier. I think he's going to be stronger. I don't know about how much stronger though, but definitely he's stronger. He's somewhere in between S and A tier. I don't really know how it's gonna play out. Corki, AD carry, A tier, not gonna talk about it. Diana, B tier. Okay, just to be clear, I think basically every mage is getting weaker. Sorry to mages, but Riot is nerfing Void Staff, and this basically seems to be the fuck mages patch, which is fine. Fuck mages. That's fine. Good job, Riot. But if I want to be unbiased, if we are fucking every mage, then yeah, I mean, I think Diana's going to be B tier simply because she does have good sustain damage. But most mages, you might be noticing, I'm putting into nerf tier. Everybody get that? So, the only mages I'm putting up here are the ones that deliberately do good sustain damage. And even Asol, I'm kind of... Draven, AD carry, S tier, or sorry, A tier. If Draven can't be one-shot by things like Talon, then... yeah. I think Draven... okay, so here's the thing. I think Draven and Darius are going to be weaker than people think, though, because they rely a lot on getting laning phase kills. If everyone is tankier in the laning phase, and they can't get laning phase kills, that makes them weaker. Everybody get that? So I think, of AD carries, I think Caitlyn and Draven are going to be the weaker ones, but... they're still AD carries. If they don't get one shot by Kiana and Talon and stuff, if they don't get one shot, then it's very hard to deal with them right now because AD carries have been monstrously overbuffed to compensate for the fact they're getting one shot. Okay, so Diana, yeah, she's getting a shield nerf, but it's like barely a shield nerf. Yeah, I mean, it's going down very slightly. Mages are getting nerfed. Just to defend Diana, I think she's going to be B tier because she does have good sustain damage compared to other mages. Mundo is getting a decent nerf on his R. But the thing with Mundo is his W isn't getting nerfed. His R isn't getting nerfed. Now, remember, if I look up Dr. Mundo here, let's remember something, because a lot of you guys don't understand this, particularly Riot. I don't know why they didn't nerf his W. Here's the thing. The damage stored and then healed, that scales on his health. So the healing scales on his health, right? If he takes more damage, he heals more. They didn't nerf the healing on his W. But the thing is, and remember this, guys, Ignite got nerfed from 60% to 50%. For those of you who do math, that means if Darius is ignited, or sorry, Darius, if Mundo is ignited on this patch and he presses W and heals, the very same situation on the next patch, he presses W and heals, he will heal for 25% more. Because healing debuffs went from 60% to 50%. That means Mundo's healing in the laning phase went up considerably, actually. That also means that despite this nerf on his ultimate, he will heal, I haven't mathed it out, but, you know, I'm just going to guesstimate, he will likely heal for more. In addition to that, if he doesn't get one shot as easily, remember, Mundo does heal, where is it? He heals if he picks up his canister. That also didn't get nerfed. So if he simply picks up a canister and presses W, he gets 25% more healing next patch if he was ignited than this patch. So Mundos that press W, get burst, get ignited, you know, then they flash on their canister, pick it up, press W on you, heal. They're going to heal 25%. I mean, I'm hammering that 25% more in, guys, because I'm going to be honest. I actually, to be fair, I think I got to put Mundo at S tier. He's very likely getting over buffed, and I'm really not sure why they're not nerfing anything he does more. They'll go and they'll nerf Gore Drinker by 20%, but they're only nerfing Mundo's ult bonus HP. It doesn't make any sense to me. He's clearly S tier. Echo is getting a nerf on his shield slightly. Not even a lot. It's just 10, not even AP ratio. So, okay. This is, I'm explaining this to you guys, so follow me along on this one. What Riot is doing, and I'll put them in B tier to be fair. What Riot is doing is they likely know, in their head, they're not stupid. They know they are over-nerfing mages. They know that. By nerfing Void Staff and giving everyone more Magic Pen, they're over-nerfing mages. So what you're seeing happen here all the time is these mages that are being nerfed, they're nerfing their shit less. So Echo keeps his ult. When Echo uses his ult, he will likely now just straight heal to full HP, period. Everybody get that? Because, yeah. So his shield is barely being nerfed, his ult isn't being nerfed at all, but he won't very likely be able to kill people in one hit anymore. Elise. Okay, so for some reason, Elise is losing healings from Spider Farm. Okay, I gotta give Elise, like, I might even put Elise into D tier. So unlike every other mage I just talked about, and literally everything I just said, Elise won't be able to one-shot people anymore, but they also nerfed her healing in the jungle. But they also nerfed her healing in combat. There's one saving grace I have here. Elise is getting... She does have percent health damage on both of her Qs. So her Qs will be doing more damage. Everybody gets that? Oh, I forgot. That's the other thing about Mundo. He gets percent health damage on his Qs. So, wait, is this based on... Oh, this is based on bonus health. Mundo's health. Okay, I was just checking. I think Elise... I can't really give Elise anything other than... For those just tuning in, remember, S is over buffed, A is buffed, B tier is about the same, C tier is nerfed, D tier is over nerfed. It's not how strong I think they will be after the patch. It's as compared to this patch, do I think they will be buffed or nerfed? Everybody get that? Okay. I think, to be fair to Elise, I think the nerf to Void Staff, the random janky nerf to her healing, and by the way, this healing mostly occurred in the jungle. to be honest, it's not like Elise sat in front of you healing. That shit got nerfed years ago. So 90% of the time, she would use this healing in the jungle. So randomly nerfing her healing in the jungle. Again, her Q does percent health damage, so that is being buffed, but I can't imagine she does much better than D tier. Fiora, let's put her in S tier, but we do have some other champions to go through. Fiddlesticks. Okay, so we got to go up to Fiddlesticks. So Evelynn, I'm going to be honest, I actually think Evelynn is going to be slightly buffed. I think Evelynn kills people so fucking hard that she will be one of the only assassins that actually will still be able to full health combo people. Although, I think maybe B tier. I don't know. I'm torn. Evelynn is one of the only assassins in the game who consistently overkills people so hard that even with this bonus to survivability, it won't really matter. Frequently, her ultimate overkills you by like 300, 400, 500 HP, right? You guys ever see that? Evelynn kills you. Her ult does like 1,000 damage to your 500 remaining health. So I actually just don't think that Evelynn... I just don't see this one. Actually, I turned Twitch chat off on this one. Thank you, Cropkey. Thank you for joining, my friend. Okay, so, that's Evelynn up here. Ezreal, A tier. I don't think anyone's a shock on that one. Okay, so now let's read Fiora. Or sorry, Fiddlesticks. Oh, and Fiora does percent health true damage and her healing barely got nerfed. So, yeah, they didn't even nerf the AD ratio on her healing. Gore Drinker gets nerfed 20%. Fiora, no nerf. Yeah, can I like make an extra S++ tier for Fiora? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Ugh. You fucking what? Okay, so the buff to Fiddlesticks' healing that they did last patch is basically getting reverted. I don't understand. So Fiddlesticks needs to kill you in his ult, but he can't do that because everyone got buffed. And also, his healing just got basically reverted. It used to be 30 to 50%. Now it'll be 25 to 55%. I don't... Did they accidentally not include last patch's changes in this patch or something? I'm actually confused. Fid's just massively nerfed. Why? So he's already getting nerfed by being a mage, but unlike all the other mages, they're then doubling down. They're like, okay, let me put it this way. They beat the shit out of Fiddlesticks until he was unconscious, and now they're pissing on his body. Galio's getting nerfed. Fizz is also getting nerfed. This should be no surprise. They don't have anything that compensates. Galio's shield will likely be compensated by the increase to his base HP. The actual shield from his W will be about the same, but Galio, here's the thing, guys. If you actually look at Galio's cooldowns, where are they? His cooldowns are 12 to 10, 18 to 16, 12 to 8, 200 to 160. Galio has 0 sustained damage. If people don't die in his combo, he literally just stands there and goes, So, yeah. Gangplank, slight nerf on his healing. Buff. Actually, I'm gonna put Galio in T tier. He's fucking useless. There's no way. This champion... okay, I swear to God, if I'm wrong on this one, if Galio remains useful after these changes, I will do absolutely nothing, but I will make it seem like I will. Okay, Gangplank goes into A tier. So, okay, let me look up Gangplank just to defend, because once again, I'm going to be defending myself on every case I make. I'm hoping to be as accurate as I can be. Okay? Gangplank's barrels remove 40% of armor, so the increase in armor doesn't affect Gangplank as much. Gangplank also got his passive massively overbuffed recently. It now does 55 to 310 true damage. It used to be like, it used to cap out at like 200. Now it's 310. Gangplank, in comparison to everyone else, is getting buffed, in my opinion. Because, yeah, he compared to most other champions, he has the best tools to ignore the increase of armor and stuff like that. Garen... Am I reading this right? They're nerfing Garen's health regen. Riot Video Games. We need to have a talk. Do you guys understand that Garen literally cannot be healing debuffed during his passive? Do you understand that? Because if he was healing debuffed, he would be damaged. And if he was damaged, then he wouldn't have his passive. So by nerfing his passive, this is like nerfing Cho'Gath's passive. This makes no sense. Fundamentally, this makes no sense, Riot. He can't be healing debuffed. F. D. I don't know. Probably C. Okay, Garen still does percent health true damage on his ultimate. So he ignores health and he ignores armor buffs. But holy shit, Riot! Do you guys play the game? Holy shit! Gragas gets a nerf on his passive healing from 8% to 6.5%. That's way more than 10%. That's actually more like 20%. I actually consider that fine. Let me explain myself on this one. I still think I'm torn. Okay, so Gragas is either going to be in C tier or A tier based on which build he goes with. Yeah, I'm going to put him in B tier anyway. Here's the thing. Gragas' tank build, where he just builds tank and then spams E over and 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 over. That build is getting buffed because he'll be tanky. He'll be able to go Sunfire and just, you know, the Gragas thrust of death, where he just thrusts you into submission. That build is getting stronger, but AP Gragas is getting significantly weaker. But his laning phase is going down, so I actually think, I gotta put him in nerf tier, actually. Okay. I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. So Gwen had a passive maximum healing against champions. I didn't even know she had maximum healing against champions. I didn't know that. So Gwen's getting her passive healing nerf. It doesn't fucking matter. She's getting buffed. I mean, honestly, does anyone... She's a full sustained damage AP champion. She's getting buffed. No? Like, does anyone think otherwise? Right? I mean, she does percent health damage spam, massive sustained damage spam. It doesn't matter. Like, you're nerfing or healing. It doesn't fucking matter. Gnar... Ooh. I'm gonna put him at about the same. Mega Gnar is getting nerfed because you won't be able to stunlock people to death. But I think, well, he always built tanky for mini Gnar anyway. I actually have to trust my gut. I think Gnar actually will come out slightly buffed. He's still got good sustained damage. I think Gwen in S tier. I just maybe. I'm big Graves in here. Illaoi D. Are you fucking kidding me, Riot? So, okay, here's the thing. Illaoi is by default already losing 20% of the healing. So, if you ignite Olin, Illaoi... Wait, why, Riot? Why would you even do this? Okay. Darius is getting his healing nerfed by 17.5%, about there, right? So Darius, who is already a good champion, who already is getting buffed, who's got 35% armor pen to ignore the bonus in healing, who's got true damage, who's got massive sustained damage from his passive, he's getting a 17.5% healing. Illaoi, who has no sustained damage, some percent health damage, I guess, who lacks a lot of sustained damage, actually, because their ultimate runs out, right? This champion gets nerfed by 20%. Why? It doesn't make any sense. Hecarim, I think Hecarim's getting slightly buffed. Yeah. Heimer. Someone's telling me to refresh the page. Oh, holy shit! Okay, so Illaoi actually only got nerfed by 10%, and Garen actually got his passive nerf. Okay, so Garen, where'd I put Garen? Garen, you'll actually be about the same then. And, okay, I gotta check, did any of these other ones get changed? Wow, right, literally hotfixed their patch before it even launched. Holy shit. Okay, so Illaoi got nerfed less hard. Okay, so they, I guess, before they even launched, Riot's just like sitting there eating cereal, just like a fucking light bulb goes up above their head. They're just like, what the fuck did we do with that patch? Oh man, check Gore Drinker. Nah, Gore Drinker. Yeah, okay. I mean, Gore Drinker's still getting fucked. I don't know why they're fucking Gore Drinker, but they are. Okay, so okay, Illaoi isn't getting nerfed. I'll put Illaoi into C tier. No, I'll put her in B tier. Look, okay, here's my opinion. If she's only getting a 10% nerf rather than a 20%, that does mean you can't ignite all-in burst her. She will now be healing for more through ignite. So if you just run up to Illaoi and you ignite her, and you just all-in her through ignite, yeah, she's gonna be stronger than she was. And her main weakness right now is literally every champion just runs up and drop kicks her with an ignite, and she dies from full before she can do anything. So actually, I think she'll be about the same, maybe even stronger. Oh, I'm torn. Is she stronger now, or is she... I might put her in stronger, actually. I think I'm gonna put her in stronger. Because she is actually now getting her healing slightly buffed. And you can't just run... You can't... Okay, if I'm playing Aatrox, I can't just run at Illaoi and dropkick her with Ignite into a full combo and kill her from full. Because I can't do that, that massively increases her power. I'd actually have to dodge her abilities. I think overall, she is getting stronger. Irelia, her Q heal is getting nerfed slightly. Oh wait, no, that's not slight. That's from 8 to 16% to 7 to 11%. Enhance! Enhance! That is 8 to 16% to 7 to 11%. That's a large nerf. Okay, so Irelia is getting a significant nerf. That's a drop of 1/3 of her healing. Okay, I think despite the fact that sustained damage will become stronger, that is a very large, significant nerf, actually. She will no longer be able to just full heal off queuing the minion wave 3 or 4 times. Okay, yeah. Ivern. He's getting his shield reduced 10 to 30 and the AP ratio is going down. I think Ivern actually gets... I don't know, what do we say? Talia, I think Talia is going to be an S tier, by the way. Talia is just too strong right now. And she's got really good sustained damage. Ivern, I think, will he be about the same or he be stronger? I think he'll be about the same, maybe. I'm not sure. Let me zoom out a little. It's being a bit fucky. I zoomed in too much. Okay, Janna, alt nerf 10 to 0, plus a 0.25. Okay, Janna will actually be slightly stronger. Her ult is almost all in combat. So with healing debuffs going down, Janna will actually heal for more. Maybe not early game, but like at level 11 and 16 definitely. And her shield is being touched, but not really that much. I think Janna gets slightly buffed. I feel like, okay, so here's my opinion. I don't know. I think Ivern gets slightly buffed too. I'm not sure. Jarvan, I think Jarvan will get slightly nerfed. Okay, so they actually aren't nerfing his level 1 shield. Someone said they were nerfing his level 1 shield, and I was about to laugh my ass off. They are still nerfing his shield increase by about 17%. Okay, so the base shield is going down by 20 in the later ranks, and the shield increase is also going down. I think he's weaker. He already relied on bursting people. He does have percent health damage. He does have an armor shred, but he relied on bursting people. And if you can't burst people, then he goes down in power. Kai'Sa is getting a nerf on her shield, but not really by that much. By 5 to 15. Okay, so Kai'Sa's getting buffed. Jax S tier. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Jace. I think Jace goes to C tier. If he can't kill people early game as easily, then he goes down in power. That's my opinion. I think Jin's the only AD carry I'll call about the same. Jinx is probably S tier. Do I have anyone else I've gone over? No, the next one is Karma. So, Kalista, AD carry, she gets buffed. I'll go through my reasoning. Jax is really good sustain damage. Lethal tempo isn't getting nerfed. Conqueror is getting nerfed. So Jax, in my opinion, goes to S tier. Jinx, I mean, Jinx and Jax just do so much sustained damage. In a patch where people are no longer getting one shot, then they're just going to be doing significantly better. The only weakness Jax had, and the reason his build was Divine Sunder into Frozen Heart, his weakness was getting one shot. But if he's not getting one shot anymore, and all penetration is getting nerfed, hey, guess who's got an ultimate that gives him a shitload of resistances? This guy! So, massive sustain damage when sustain damage is going to become more powerful. Massive resistances when resistances are going to be even more valued. Yeah, I think Jax goes up. Karma... I mean, she's just getting a nerf. She's getting a nerf on her shield and a nerf on her heal. Yeah, it's not really that big a deal. I think she'll be... Okay, so the reason I think Ivern got buffed is that he still got his ultimate and he's still got, like, chain slows and roots. So in longer fights, Ivern gets stronger. I guess Karma does get stronger over longer fights as well. I'm not really sure. Karthus, S tier. Does anyone want to disagree with me on that one? Karthus, S tier. Massive sustain damage. His only weakness was low health, low armor, but now he does not have low health nor low armor. So, yeah. Katarina's getting her Grievous Wounds nerfed. Oh, that means they're nerfing Kled. I don't want to look. It's going to make me sad. Okay, so Katarina's getting... no changes to Kassadin. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, Kassadin will be stronger because late game will be stronger. Katarina's getting weaker. That shouldn't be shocking. Kayle, S tier. These should all be pretty obvious. Late game is getting stronger, so I think Kassadin gets stronger. Also, his only weakness was low armor, but now everyone's getting more armor. He dies early game harder. He still scales like a maniac. He gets buffed. There's no question. Kayn, depending on which Kayn you go. So I'm actually going to put him in B tier. Because depending on which Kayn you go, obviously blue Kayn gets nerfed, red Kayn gets buffed. Okay. Kennen nerfed. if it's harder to kill people early game and AP is getting nerfed, that means Kennen's going down. Kha'Zix's nerfed. That should not really be that surprising. Kindred buffed. I'm just going through a bunch of these champions. Kha'Zix got his heal nerfed. Oh, wait, I forgot. They're even nerfing Kayn. From 30 to 40% healing to 25 to 30% healing. The E heal is also going down. And his ult healing is going down. Not really by that much. I think Kayn... Red Kayn gets buffed. Blue Kayn gets nerfed. Kha'Zix is nerfed. Why are they nerfing his healing? It's not like Kha'Zix's healing hasn't been changed in like 7 years. I'm not even joking. Maybe even actually 10 years. Who gives a shit, Riot? Why would you even do that? Let's see. Kindred's healing and her ult is going down, which is odd. And the healing on her passive is going down. Neither of those matter. She's getting buffed. She might even be S tier based on how much sustained damage she does. Kled goes into F tier. They're nerfing Kled's passive, which... Riot! I don't know if you haven't played this game. Kled's passive doesn't get healing debuff. Nerfing healing debuffs doesn't change Kled's passive. It can't be healing debuffed. But they nerfed it anyway. And then his Q... Can I put Kled into like super omega F tier? Jesus Christ. Do they play their own games sometimes? Guys, Kled's passive ignores healing debuffs. Nerfing it, even if you're increasing the amount of base HP, there's just no fucking way. Oh my god, Hashinshin! But when he's dismounted, he'll be able to remount easier. To do what? His 0 fucking damage again? He doesn't do any fucking damage after the early game. People are tankier early game. People have more armor. And his healing debuff got nerfed. This alone would counteract every other buff you did, and he's not even good right now. Okay, so Lee Sin's shield is getting nerfed 5 to 25, and his vamp is getting nerfed 0 to 2%. Despite that... Oh, Kog'Maw S tier. LeBlanc C tier, she's getting nerfed. I'll call Lee Sin B tier. I would say Lee Sin is getting nerfed, but they're barely nerfing him compared to other champions. So his burst will go down by people being tankier, but his sustain is ironically actually going to go up because whenever he's healing debuffed or anything like that, ignited, he'll actually heal more. Leona. I'm going to put Leona into B tier. Let me explain my reasoning. Is Leona getting any nerfs? No. Okay. Okay. Leona's armor and magic resist on her W will have less penetration, so she'll actually be tankier into the late game. In fact, let me bring this up for you guys. So Leona's Q only has a 5-second cooldown, so she's pretty good at sustained CC, right? Her W, this armor and magic resist will have less pen going into it, and her E only has a 6-second cooldown at max range. So Leona will actually be tankier after this patch, but she will be able to kill people less because people will be tankier. So I think overall, in considering everything, I think Leona goes down in power. Lalaya is one of the only mages who gets buffed. She does true damage on her Q. She does percent health damage on her passive. Good sustain damage. Good healing. Did she get nerfed a little bit? Okay, she got a nerf on her passive healing, but barely. Barely. So, Lalaya, Lula, she goes up in power level a little bit. Lissandra gets a nerf on her ult. Right, you didn't need to do that. I'm going to put her into D tier. If they did nothing, I would have put her into C tier. If they did absolutely nothing, I'd be like, well, she's like LeBlanc, she get nerfed, you know, whatever. The fact they went out of their fucking way to nerf her? Why? Okay, yeah, D tier. Okay, Yeah, I mean, I guess her Q cooldown is 3 seconds, so she does have some sustained damage. So, okay, look, if I'm gonna be completely fair, she's probably C tier. It's 4 seconds still? Oh, never mind, D tier. Okay, I thought they buffed her Q to be a 3-second cooldown a bit ago. So she's still got a 4-second cooldown on her Q, 10-second on her W, 12-second on her E. She can only ult once a fight. Riot, she doesn't do good sustain damage. And then you just randomly nerfed her healing for no reason. Yeah, D tier, go. Okay, once again, Riot, Lulu's ult can't be healing debuffed, but, you know, thank you, good job, I guess. I don't care, fuck it, fuck Lulu. Lulu's shield got nerfed, she'll be about the same, it doesn't really matter. Lucian, B tier, he's getting, well, okay, Lucian's probably with here with Jhin, and where did I put Draven? Draven, okay. Lucian is probably here with Caitlyn and Draven, and that he's getting stronger, but he's getting less strong than most of these other champions. Because in my opinion, I think Lucian is still balanced on burst, and if he can't burst people as well. In fact, should I nerf Lucian? I mean, he's probably gonna, I'm actually gonna put him in B tier. If people are tankier early game, and there's less burst in the game, I think Lucian actually ends up being about the same. I think he ends up being about the same, probably. If I had to put a gut feeling... Oh, yeah, I did misplace Lulu. If I had to put a gut feeling here, I think Lucian goes into B tier instead of C. Yeah, that's my gut feeling. My gut tells me that. Lux is... Okay, I mean, Lux... C... And in all honesty, I might just put Lux into D, but I'm not sure. Lux's cooldowns are massive. She can resist being one-shot now, but the thing is, it doesn't really matter. She can't one-shot anyone on her own. And I don't know, man. I think Lux is gonna be definitively weaker. Malphite is getting his passive nerfed. I don't know why. I guess he does get more base health. Okay, I'm just curious. I want to put Lux in overnerfed or in C tier. I'm contemplating just putting her in D tier because I feel like despite the fact that nobody will be able to one-shot her, the problem's gonna be that she can't one-shot anyone, so everyone's just gonna have to run the fuck up to her. Like, everyone will just literally walk up to Lux, eat her abilities, and then just beat her ass. Malphite, I'm gonna put him in buff tier, I think. I think Malphite will be buffed. Malzahar is getting nerfed. I mean, if you can't kill someone in Malzahar's ultimate, then he doesn't do a lot. Maokai, I don't know. What are they nerfing on Maokai? His passive is being nerfed by 0 to 20, and the percent health is being nerfed by 0.5 to 4%. I think Maokai actually ends up weaker. Here's the thing. Maokai doesn't do any fucking damage, and if he heals significantly less, and he can't kill people, like, okay, if Maokai can't set people up in a combo and kill them, then what does he do? Right? Like, you nerfed his healing so bad, and he won't be able to CC people to death. So, I don't get it. This is a clear nerf, in my opinion. Okay, Mordekaiser is not... Oh, boy! Oh, boy! I didn't know this. Mordekaiser is not getting his shield nerfed. Only the shield to heal is being nerfed. I'm gonna put Maokai in S tier, actually. Mordekaiser, did I say Maokai? Mordekaiser will shield for more because he has more health. He has R or Magic Pen on his E. He steals health with his ultimate. Good sustain damage. And they're not even nerfing his shield, only the healing from his shield, but his shield will be bigger. So actually, Mordekaiser, in my opinion, is getting overbuffed. Master Yi, S tier. Could he even be an S++ tier? Are they not even nerfing his healing? Okay, I've emoted so much that like I can't overreact. I can't even react to this. It's so stupid. They're not even nerfing Master Yi's healing. They'll nerf every motherfucker's healing in the game, but Master Yi, they won't even nerf his fucking healing. Why? They'll go through and nerf fucking Kled's passive, but God help you, Master Yi doesn't get his healing nerfed. I'm over emoted, chat. I can't emote. I'm over gasped. It's just so stupid. Okay. Okay. So, Misfortune. Oh, actually, I'm gonna call Misfortune a straight nerf. Oh, I didn't even consider that. Why is Wukong over here? This list is a little bit out of order. I mean, why is Misfortune over here? I don't know. Okay, so there's Mordekaiser, Morgana. Morgana lost 10% from her passive. I'm gonna put Morgana in nerfed. Magic damage, relies on CC. Just overall, in my opinion, she's gonna be weaker. Wukong. I'm contemplating if he's buffed or nerfed. I'm gonna call him slightly buffed. I'm not even here yet. Anyway, so Nami. A nerf on her W. Well. That's a good, I mean, it's losing AP ratio, it's losing 25 heal. I don't know, she's not really getting that many changes in Moonstone. I think that's a big issue. I'm gonna pull Janna down as well, because Nami, and, well, no, because, yeah, Moonstone is getting nerfed from Janna. So I think, actually, in retrospect, I think Janna will be about the same, because they are nerfing Moonstone pretty hard. That's my opinion. I think Nami will be about the same. Nasus is losing lifesteal 9 to 19% instead of 10 to 22. I think Nasus is getting buffed. I don't think he's like monstrous, right? But, well, actually, I don't know. I think I might just put Nasus in S tier. I'm not sure, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. He gets armor and magic resist with his ult, which is now going to have less penetration to kill him. He's more survivable early game. He gets armor pen on his E, so he can penetrate through the additional armor. I think as compared to where he is now, he's going to be way stronger, actually. Yeah. Nautilus is losing 5 shield and then 1% on his shield. I think Nautilus actually gets slightly nerfed. Here's my opinion. Let me actually pull up Nautilus so I can defend myself, because I love defending myself here, chat. I love, probably should search Nautilus lol. Okay, so, okay, let me try that again. So, here's the thing. Nautilus's passive is a 6-second cooldown. His Q is 10. His W is 12. His E is 5. Like, these aren't short cooldowns like Leona. And his shield is getting nerfed. Like, Leona's not getting nerfed. Leona's not getting nerfed at all, but Nautilus is. So, Nautilus is getting nerfed. He won't be able to maybe one-shot people with his stun combo. And if he can't, he kind of just walks around. Although, okay, to be fair, Nautilus does shield on health and he is getting more health. So, I think that doesn't compensate for it. I think Leona can just stand next to people and just go pow, pow, pow. I mean, you guys ever experience that? Leona just standing next to you, pow, pow, right? But Nautilus can't do that. Remember, his passive doesn't get reduced by ability haste. Leona's does. Nidalee. They're nerfing her. I actually think Nidalee gets nerfed. I think Nico does a good sustain. I think Nico gets nerfed as well. Nidalee relies on sustain damage and poke. So they're nerfing her heal, which is primarily out of combat. They're nerfing her damage by nerfing Void Staff and all that stuff. They're nerfing her ability to try to kill people. That's a nerf. Nico, same thing. She's nerf. Nocturne, nerf. Not really a surprise. Nunu, I'm gonna be honest. I might just put Nunu in D tier. Did I put Nunu in D tier? How badly are they nerfing you, Nunu? Oh, well, actually, they're nerfing Nocturne. Well, they're nerfing his healing against the jungle. Ooh, that's bad. Nunu and Willump are losing. Nunu's going from 10% bonus health to 6% bonus health. From a 90% AP ratio heal to a 70%. In addition to losing 10 to 30. Okay, so Nunu's going straight D tier. No question in my mind. He can't kill people as easily early game. His sustained damage is non-existent. He sucks in the late game. D tier. Straight mega ultra D tier. Okay, so Olaf. Did Riot fuck up? Why is Olaf not mentioned? They're not nerfing him at all? Wait, are you serious? Did... Did they forget? Okay, Olaf S tier. Armor pen on his Q, true damage on his E, lifesteal on his passive, massive sustained damage. Also, his shield is based on his health. Hello? Riot? Hello? Riot? I literally can't believe this. Guys, I'm gonna go. Can I? This isn't right. I can't. I literally can't believe this. I don't believe this. I'm gonna go check the patch notes on EU. English US, English EU. I don't understand. There's patch 12.10 LoL nodes Europe. This has got to be this can't be right, chat. This literally can't be right. There's no fucking way they didn't nerf Olaf. It can't be true. It's English GB? Okay, let me... There's incompetent, and then there's whatever the fuck this is. Okay. Okay. They fucked up. They didn't put him in the American patch notes. He's in the European patch notes. You can see him right here. Okay? I knew they couldn't fuck up this bad. I knew there was no way they could fuck up this bad. Okay, so Olaf's healing is going from 10 to 30% to 9 to 22.5%. His W shield is going from 10 to 150, 25% missing health, to 10 to 130, 22.5% missing health. Are they not nerfing him? Oh god, I don't know which one it is. Did they remove him from the NA patch notes and then forget to remove him from the EU? There's no way. There's no fucking way that they don't nerf Olaf. It would be like not nerfing Master Yi. I'm going to put Olaf tentatively in buff tier, even with those nerfs. Even with these nerfs, I think he is still slightly buffed. That's my opinion. Even with those, he is still slightly buffed. Okay, so Orianna. Where the fuck is Orianna? Okay, we're back on track, chat. Orianna is losing 5 to 25 and then a little bit AP. I think Orianna, I think she comes out about the same. Okay, so did they nerf Master Yi? No, Master Yi's not even on the Great Britain notes. Okay, so I think Orianna comes out the same or better. I don't know. She can't combo kill people with her ultimate. But she does have more sustained damage than other mages, and she is a long-range kite champion. I think she's got to be about the same, probably. Ornn, I think he's slightly buffed. Slightly. Maybe. Yeah, okay. He can't die as easy early game, but he can't kill people as easy early game. People have more health, but they also have more magic resist. I'm contemplating either B tier or A tier based on my guesses. Pantheon D tier. No, do I need to explain that to anyone? The champion who only can one-shot people can't one-shot people. D tier. Mega, Ultra, Super, Mega D tier. Poppy. I'll put her at about the same. She's more reliant on killing people in the early game than other tanks. She doesn't scale as well because she does physical damage. She does do a good chunk of health damage. She can go Sunfire and tank people, I guess. But she still doesn't scale that much. I think she'll end up about the same. The penetration buffs help her tank build, but she hasn't even been using a tank build. So... Okay, so Pyke is getting nerfed. Okay. So I guess he'll have more gray health because he'll just have more health, period. Right? But... I think he'll overall be slightly weaker. That's my opinion. I think he'll overall be slightly weaker. Probably. Kiana, she's getting nerfed. She's a burst champion. Quinn, I think she'll be about the same. She can't kill people as easy early game, but later in the game, it's going to be far more difficult to one-shot her. And if it's far more difficult to one-shot Quinn, she does have pretty good sustain damage. So, if I look at Quinn, we look this up. After the buff, 107 armor, 2286 HP. Quinn will be about as tanky next patch as Darius is tanky this patch. So, with her pretty decent sustain damage, 60% attack speed, yeah, I think she'll be doing a lot better. So, yeah, but the thing is, she can't kill people as well early game, so I think she'll be about the same. Rakan, I think he's getting nerfed. If he can't one-shot people with his ultimate as easily, he's weaker. Rammus, he got buffed. If there's less, okay, if there's less penetration in the game, shocking who might be buffed. Rammus, right? But on the other hand, he can't kill people as easily early game. So I think I put him in B tier. He's going to be much weaker early game because he can't one-shot people with his taunt combo, but he's going to be much stronger later game because he won't have as much penetration killing him. So, Guys, I am choosing to believe that Olaf is being nerfed because there's literally no way they don't nerf the champion with armor pen, true damage, shielding, and healing when they're nerfing shielding and healing and adding more health and armor into the game. There's just no way. Rek'Sai. They're probably nerfing Rek'Sai's healing, no? If I had to guess. Oh, they're actually not. Is Rek'Sai the only motherfucker who's not having her out of combat healing nerfed? So you'll nerf Cho'Gath's passive. But not Rek'Sai. But not Rek'Sai, right? Not Rek'Sai. Anyway, she gets nerfed because I mean if she can't one-shot people, I mean that just makes her worse, right? What's it got to? Rel, I don't give a shit. D tier. I don't care. I do not care. D tier. Because she's Rel. Renekton, I'm going to put him in C tier, but now I'm going to read the notes and... Okay, actually, I'm not going to read the notes at all. D tier. D tier. Now, tell me if I was right. Let's read these notes. Okay, Q healing against non-champions. Reduced from 3% bonus AD to 2%. Out of combat healing nerfed because they nerfed healing debuffs. Now he can't heal as much out of combat when he's not healing debuffed. Okay. His Q healing against champions from 12 to 36 to 10 to 26. AD down only by 1%. That's not that bad. Empowered healing against non-champions from 6 to 18 to, well, 6 to 18, but the AD ratio is down from 9% to 6%. That's the rage Q for the most part is in combat healing. And then Q empowered healing against champions from 36 to 108 to 30 to 78, from 48 to 45% AD ratio. Actually, I'm gonna be honest, it's not that bad. In all honesty, this isn't that bad. It is bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I'm still putting him in D tier because he can't kill people as easy early game. He still doesn't scale that well. And there's more health and more armor. He has armor shred on his E, that's it. Everything else is just base damage, right? So, I mean, just D tier. Riven, her E shield is going down by 5 to 20 plus a 10%. Okay. S tier. So they barely nerfed her shield. Renekton got more nerfs than Riven. Okay. Rumble got a tiny nerf on his shield as well. I'm gonna say despite... Okay, so here's the thing. Riven has so much health damage, or so much sustained damage, that it doesn't really matter. Like, she won't be able to just auto W, auto ult you, right? Like, she won't be able to literally just kill you there, right? But the thing about Riven is that she does so much damage, she's just gonna kill you with one extra auto attack. Against burst champions, she'll be able to sustain through all their damage still, because her guys, her shield still has a larger AD ratio than it had for 12 years. Even with this nerf, it is still a bigger shield than it was for 12 years. Okay? So, yeah, she's got really good sustained damage because have you noticed all the champions cooldowns I've been listing? How every champion has these cooldowns of like 10, 10, 10, 10. Let's look at her Q. 13, but it goes on cooldown at the start of cast, not at the end like all those abilities. 7 on her W, 6 on her E. Her AD ratio on her passive goes from 30 to 60%. She's got good sustained damage. She's got low cooldowns. She's got good survivability. She can kill people from full in 2 auto attacks. The thing is, like, okay, if I'm playing Aatrox and I need to, if I don't kill someone on Aatrox, I need to wait for my full Q cooldown. Because Aatrox's Q cooldown it starts at the last cast, not at the first cast, at the last cast. If Aatrox uses his Q3, he needs to wait the full 6 seconds to start his combo. Does everybody get that? So if Aatrox needs to wait to use another ability, he just stands there like... If Riven needs to auto-attack one more time to kill someone, she needs to wait 0.5 seconds. So, in comparison to everyone else, I think Riven gets overbuffed. Rumble, I think gets weaker. Okay, let me explain this. Where did I put Rumble? Did I put... Oh, okay. Rumble, I think, goes to C tier. He needs to kill people in his overheat, which he can do. But the thing is that if he can't do it as easily, it becomes way harder for him. Does everybody get that? The second issue is that with Magic Pen nerfed from Void Staff, then, I mean, he can kill people worse. Oh, Rengar. Oh, well, Rengar's he'll be weaker. There's no doubt in my mind. Rengar will be weaker than he was before. This is not a tier list of what tier they will be after the patch. It is a tier list of are they getting nerfed or buffed by this patch. Rengar will still be S tier, but he will be lower in S tier and probably by a decent chunk. He'll probably go from a 54-55 win rate to a 52. So, undeniably, he is getting nerfed. Will it be enough? I don't know, but he is getting nerfed. Don't argue with that. However, I should mention the reason I'm not putting him in very nerfed is you can literally see here, Rengar isn't getting the healing on his W nerfed. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. If they're not nerfing his W healing, I might buff him in the B tier. Because he heals on his W based on how much damage he's taken. More health means more healing. I'm not sure, actually. I'll keep him in C tier for now. Rise, I'm gonna put in B tier. C tier. I think even compared to where he is now, he'll still be worse. Void Staff is getting nerfed. But he is being tankier. I mean, so Rise has the same issue a lot of these mages have. Here's the issue. He had really good health. Health is always good. He had low armor. Now that he'll have good armor and great health, he'll actually be significantly tankier and harder to kill. So I think he'll actually be B tier. He's got good sustain damage. He will be nerfed by Void Staff, but he is getting buffed by actually getting armor into the late game. I think he'll end up being a bit better, but he'll also be worse. Samira, I think she's just about the only AD carry I'm actually going to put down here in C tier. Is she getting nerfed at all? This tier list, these champions are so out of date. They don't have like any of the new ones here. Unfortunate, but what are you going to do? Samira relies on killing people in her ultimate. All lifesteal has been nerfed. She won't be able to burst people as easy. She won't be able to get She won't be able to get kills as easy early game. Lord Dominic's is getting nerfed, so her ultimate will do less damage. She's just about the only AD carry, in my opinion, who I'd actually say is going to be weaker. Sejuani, is she getting nerfed? No. I think Sejuani is just about the only tank I would also rank as weaker. Here's the thing with Sejuani. Some of you guys might not know this, so let me fill you in on this one. Sejuani's passive has a cooldown that where is it? Here we go. Enemies can only be affected by frost once every 10 seconds. Sejuani doesn't really get better. Period. So, yeah. If she can't one-shot you, what's she gonna do? Sit there for 10 seconds using her flail? Have you ever been hit by Sejuani using her flail? It's like this. She goes like, bah, eh, eh. And your health bar goes like, dink, dink. I'm not even moving my hand. Dink, dink, dink. Yeah. So, yeah. Senna, I don't care. I mean, they're nerfing her shield a little bit, but they're not even nerfing its scale. They're barely... Okay, her shield is going from 120 to 200 to 100 to 200, but they're not nerfing the AP ratio, and they're not nerfing the soul ratio. They're not nerfing her heal lethality ratio or AP ratio, but they're only nerfing the bonus AD ratio on her heal. Her heal's going down 0 to... Okay, so... I mean... Senna's gonna be way stronger than she is now. Are you kidding me, right? As compared to where she is now, she will be way stronger. I mean, do I need to explain this one? Her ult is barely being changed. She's got good sustain damage if this thing would load. Remember, her Q cooldown goes down every time she auto attacks. So she's got good sustain damage. She does percent health damage from her passive. And if fights go on longer, she gets more souls. So undeniably, Senna ends up stronger, in my opinion. Seraphine, her W shield goes down, less AP ratio, her W heal per ally. The base amount does not go down, but the AP ratio does go down. I think Seraphine, she's either weaker or she's going to be about the same. She does use Leandries. She does poke a lot. She will poke more, but her shield is barely being touched. Her heal is barely being touched. Did I put Kale up here? Where is Kale? Does anyone see Kale? Is Kale just not in here? How did this list miss so many champions? I opened this up right before I started my stream. Okay, Shen. The shield base is not going down. The scaling is going down. The R shield is losing base and bonus. Is Kale here? Kale. Oh, there's Kale. Okay. She's an S, yeah. Okay, so Shen. Oh, Set. I think Set gets weaker. His W's will hit slightly harder, I guess. But the thing is, Set isn't... Like, if Set can't one-shot an AD carry, he doesn't do good. If Set can't win the early game hard, he's not going to do as good. I think Set does weaker. I think Shaco also does weaker as well. For obvious reasons. He's an assassin. He won't be able to assassinate people as easily. I think both those champions end up weaker. Shen... I think Shen ends up weaker, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel it on Shen. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I just don't feel it. He... like, his damage is limited. He doesn't have unlimited damage. He's got good sustained damage, better than a lot, but it's not unlimited, right? He can go Sunfire. He is okay, you know. It's just, I don't know. It's not great. It's not great. I just don't feel it. Singed. I think Singed, Shyvana and Singed, I think overall get stronger. Good sustained damage. Their only real weakness is being burst. There's less penetration in the game, so they'll actually do better on that. Early game is less valuable because champions are tankier. So yeah, Shyvana can do Iceborne into Blade of the Ruined King. Singed can do Demonic Embrace, Leandries, stuff like that. So I think actually Actually, I think these two end up a bit stronger. That's my opinion. Scion, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna go against what everyone is gonna be saying. I think Scion ends up a bit weaker. Well, no, he'll probably be about the same, actually. I think Scion not being able to kill people in his ultimate is a really big deal. Like, if Scion can't just smack an AD carry with his ult into his Q, blow up his W, hit them with a grass proc, I think that hurts him a lot. But there's less penetration in the game. Less Void Staff, less Lord Dominic's. So he'll be tankier, but he won't be able to kill people as easily. So even Tank Scion and Lethality Scion, both Scions are going to be weaker. Sivir, buff, AD carry. Skarner, weaker. Does anyone disagree with me on Skarner? He'll be weaker. If he can't kill people with his E, ult, E combo, then yeah. Sona, I think she'll be stronger. Good sustain damage, good healing. I mean, it depends on how badly... Oh, well, wait. They're nerfing Scion's shield by 2% health. They're literally undoing the buff they did that made him viable. Ew. Oh, that's actually a big deal. I might be rethinking Scion. They literally did this buff, and this is what made him viable, and now they're undoing it. And I think he, Nautilus is only losing 1%. Scion is losing 2%. So, yeah, he's more like a Scion now. Okay, Skarner. Even Skarner is only losing 1%. Scion's going from 14. Okay, Skarner is going from 14% to 13%. Scion is going from 14% to 12%. That's unfair, Riot. Sona, she's losing a... Oh, actually, she's losing a decent chunk of healing into the late game. And a decent chunk of healing into the late game. Decent chunk of shield and heal gone. I gotta say Scion's gonna end up weaker. That's just my opinion. Soraka and Sona. I put Sona in A tier. I don't know now. She lost AP ratio on both of them. She lost 25% of her AP ratio on the heal. Her heal also went down by 20. I mean... I can't put her in A tier at any rate. I think she'll be B. About the same. Soraka... Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Soraka's losing 50 healing and 15% AP ratio. And her ultimate... Well, her ultimate's not getting nerfed that much. Okay, so Riot... I think Soraka goes down in power. Here's my opinion. Even though healing debuffs are going down, they're nerfing Soraka basically as much as healing debuffs are. So the healing debuff nerf is basically negated anyway. And her ult is getting nerfed, which wasn't even healing debuffed. And out of combat, she will lose a considerable amount of healing. So like if you're out of combat, not healing debuffed, and Soraka runs up and presses W and then runs up and presses W again, that healing is getting slashed by like 20%. 20 to 25%. Okay, Silas. Oh boy, what are they doing? For those of you wondering about Swain, okay. So Swain, I actually think is being nerfed. But let me explain Swain. He's the only champion being balanced. I went over this earlier, but let me. Okay, where are you, Swain? Okay, Swain will now fully refill demonic power upon a champion takedown. So he's getting buffed there, okay? But Swain's healing is going from 15 to 65 to 15 to 45, and it's losing AP ratio going from 25 to 20. And the percent health healing is going from 4 to 9% to 3.5 to 7%. So, Swain, I listed him first because he's the only champion getting a balance update. Despite the Demonic Embrace buff, I think that Swain is getting nerfed. That's my opinion. Despite the healing debuff nerfs, despite the Demonic Embrace buff, I think they're removing so much healing from this champion that he's not actually going to get any stronger. You basically won't even need a healing debuff for him anymore. Silas is losing actually a good chunk of healing. Silas, I think, gets weaker. Silas relies on one-shotting you, and with his healing nerfed again. God damn, remember when this heal used to be a 1.0 AP ratio? Now it's a 0.7. I think Silas has unironically lost almost half of his W healing. So, yeah. Silas, I think he relies on... He does have good sustain damage. I'll give you that, okay? But Void Staff nerfed. Everyone gets more Magic Pen. His W healing is going down. I think Silas is going to do worse, in my opinion. Tom Kench. Oh, I forgot about Tommy Boy. So he's going from 4 to 6% missing health to 3 to 5%. 10 to 30 healing to 10 to 20. The amount of damage stored into gray health is also going down considerably. And the increased amount in gray health is going from 65 to 50. Ooh. Oh, Syndra's getting nerfed. She does have true damage. Did I put Syndra in D or C? Okay, so Tom Kench is significantly less tanky. Significantly less tanky. But I'm going to put him at least in C tier. Despite the fact he'll be tankier with the pen changes. Despite the fact he'll have more health to store into gray health, to store into Q heal. I think he gets a little bit weaker. These are above and beyond what other champions got. I mean, just the amount of health stored into gray health from 45 to 65 to 40 to 50. So in the late game, he lost 20% of his late gray health. In the early game, he lost about 10%. So, yeah. Talon nerfed. I mean, Talon... Okay, wait. They also butchered Talon's Q heal. So, Talon will be able to get early game kills worse. He'll be able to assassinate people worse. And he's got less healing in the laning phase? I'm not sure I agree. I think leaving Talon off this and just keeping his healing in the laning phase would have been better. He can still try to do a sustained damage build, but like he can't kill people early game as easily. He can't kill people late game as easily, and his laning phase is worse. I don't know if I agree. Tarek, oh boy, so Tarek went from 1% max health healing to 0.7. He's losing 25% of his healing. And his shield... Why is Tarek losing 25% of his healing? Is there... is there a joke I'm missing here? So... What? 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 I mean, I think Tarek would have been a bit stronger, I guess, because he's got good tankiness and healing and shielding, I guess, but like I don't get it. It wasn't like Tarek was overpowered. Why not go at least with the 10 to 20% healing? Why straight to 25% healing reduction? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. So he'll now cap out. Yeah. What? He'll cap out at 80% AP with 3.75%. Or no, sorry. Is it 3.5? Not a lot. Not a lot. 3.5% actually. I mean, it does max HP. I guess it does heal more because he does have more max HP. I'm trying to understand Riot's thought process on this one. The base went down by 5. Okay, so that's more than 10%. The AP ratio went down by 25%. The health went down by 25%. The W shield went down by 1%. So it does heal and shield based on his max HP. So that is getting buffed because he'll have more HP. There's going to be less penetration in the game. So he's going to be... Is this his stats after the buff? Ew. At best, I could give Tarek that he'll be about the same. At best. That's the best I can give him. I'm willing to be lenient with this one. I'm willing to be lenient just because people will die less. But my gut tells me it's a nerf. Thresh health growth is going up by 20. How much was the default again? 18? So instead of 14, Thresh is going up by 20. Okay, so Thresh is getting... Okay, so instead of 14, he gets 20, but he doesn't get the base durability package, and his shield is getting nerfed. I mean, that's a nerf, right? He doesn't get the armor per level, everyone else does. He doesn't get the magic resist per level, everyone else does. And he only gets 6 more health per level. Unless I'm reading this wrong, I don't... Right? 6 health per level compared to 1.2 armor and 0.8 magic resist. Right? Am I crazy? I mean, I guess I don't... Yeah. They didn't even give him the magic resist. Doesn't his passive... Okay, I need to look this up. Doesn't he not get magic resist? I don't think he gets magic resist, does he? From his passive? His passive only gives him ability, power, and armor. So he's not getting magic resist. The armor and the health... Okay, I mean, let me think of this, okay? So let's times it by 10. So you could either get 60 health or 12 armor. The armor is better, right? Because that's a cloth armor, but that's only a third of a ruby crystal. I'm gonna have to bring out the calculator on this one. Okay, so 300 divided by 15. So that is... I did this wrong. Okay, 300 divided by 15. So each point of armor is worth 20 gold. 20 times 12. So this is 240 gold. Okay, so a ruby crystal is 400 for 150. Why did my numpad turn off? That's 2.66 times 60. This equals 160 gold. That feels about right to me. This is worth less. The armor is worth more. So, in addition to not getting the magic resist, he gets less gold per level in stats than other champions. That's just math. That's not my opinion. I have mathematically proven that Thresh is weaker. No. Oh, well, wait. It says armor growth unchanged, does not receive durability. But here's the thing, guys. Does he still get the magic resist or not? Because it says he gets an adjusted durability base stat package. They don't say that he doesn't get or does get the magic resist. Even if he gets the magic resist, that's less. Even if he gets the magic resist, he's losing 80 gold per level in base stats compared to everyone else. I think he ends up weaker. Teemo, I think, ends up weaker as well. That's my opinion. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. I don't think Thresh will end up much weaker. He still does, like, his Q cooldown goes down if he hits people. He's still a support with good sustained CC. So over the course of, like, an entire fight, he can, like, what's the right way to put it? Over the course of an entire fight, he can CC a lot more than other tanks. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Tristana, I'm gonna call her buffed, but I think she gets... she's definitely not an S tier, because she relies on killing people early game. Tristana will be over here with Draven and Caitlyn in... Yeah, they're buffed because they're 80 carries, but they're not buffed because, well... you know, they need to kill people early game, but I think 80 carries is better. Trundle gets better. I'll go over the tier list one more time. S tier is over buffed, A tier is buffed, B tier is about the same, C tier is nerfed, D tier is over nerfed. Just to be clear, you could end up in S tier after this patch, even if I put you in the same. Because if you're S tier now and S tier after this patch, then on this list, you would be B tier because you're just the same. Does everybody get that? So Leona could go from being one of the best supports to one of the best supports because she's not changing. Do you guys get that? Okay. Tryndamere, are they nerfing Tryndamere? Okay, so Trundle is good. Oh, boy. Oh, I should have checked this. Trundle's passive healing is going from 2 to 7 to 1.8 to 5.5. That's a big gun. That's a big gun. But he's never really been about the healing anymore, right? And they're not nerfing the healing on his ultimate. And his ultimate does percent health steal, percent health damage, percent armor, shred, and steal, percent magic resist, armor, and steal. He does good sustained damage. Even despite that nerf, I think he ends up buffed. Twisted Fate. Well, okay, let's actually look at this Tryndamere stuff. So, Tryndamere's healing is going down. Big oof. It's going down a good chunk. I actually think Tryndamere ends up weaker. His Q heal is almost entirely out of combat. And it got nerfed by a good chunk. And with maximum rage at rank 1 it didn't get so bad. But at rank 5 it went down a good chunk of hunk. So Tryndamere in my opinion ends up way worse. What else we got? Twisted Fate. I think he ends up worse. Harder to kill people early game. Shit sustained damage. He got worse. Twitch, better. I might put Twitch in S tier, but I mean, he does run out of ultimate. I don't know. Udyr, W shield nerfed. AP ratio down. W heal nerfed. I think Udyr actually ends up in B tier. Udyr has good sustained damage. He really needed the tankiness more. He can't get murdered in, like, he can't get murdered before he reaches someone. So I think Udyr overall, well, no, I'm actually gonna put him in. I think Udyr gets better despite the nerfs, because I think he gives less of a shit about tankiness than he does on getting his what do you call it? Like I think he cares more about being tankier and having less penetration one-shotting him. I think he cares more about that than about having a little bit extra armor and magic resist. Or sorry, about having a little bit extra shield and healing. Because this healing... Did anyone ever drain tank with Udyr in the history of all fucking mankind? Has anyone ever drain tanked with Udyr? So, yeah, I think being tankier by default makes him better. It also means he can potentially go to shit like Demonic Embrace without getting one shot. What do we got? Urgot to be kidding me. Shield went down by 5. AD ratio on shield went down. So shield only got nerfed by 10%. I think he ends up being about the same. Maybe a bit stronger just because he does good sustain damage. I think he... Well... He does do percent health damage. He does do Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver didn't get nerfed. I think he honestly comes out to about the same. He does try to burst people down. In a sustained damage fight, he tends to not do too good against other sustained damage champions. Varus, I think he's about the same unless they changed something. They nerfed his grievous wounds. Well, then he's about the same. AD carries are stronger. Varus is stronger. But, yeah. Vi's losing a bit of her shield. Wow. They skipped over a lot of champions here. Wait, we're just suddenly at Vi and Varus? Okay, Vayne, S tier, shocker. Wow, Veigar, S tier, shocker. Valkaz, C tier, shocker. Viego, I'm gonna put him in A tier. He can get, did Viego get any nerfs? Actually, I should check that because that changed my opinion on Sion real quickly. Okay, so Q healing against monsters is reduced. Q healing against champions is reduced. Passive heal is, what is that? That is reduced. You could healing debuff his passive heal, right? I'm fairly certain. It wasn't like Kled where it randomly ignored healing debuffs. I think Kled just does, or sorry, Kled. I think Viego has enough sustain damage that he does absolutely fine. The reason I put Veigar in S tier, he overkills people so much that the survivability changes won't really change that much. And with him being tankier and harder to one-shot, it means that he ends up being stronger. And the last thing is that if people take longer to kill, then Veigar just builds more ability power. Like, if people take longer to kill and you're playing, I don't know, Talon, then they just take longer to kill, right? But if Veigar takes longer to kill people, then he just gets more ability power. You get it? In addition, being harder to kill early game helps mitigate his only real weakness. Vi ends up being the same. So, okay. Vi does have decent sustain damage with her W, but she also relies on bursting people. So I think, like, if Vi fights Talon, I think Vi ends up stronger because she has way more sustain damage than a champion like Talon. Does everybody get that? But if she's trying to burst, if she's trying to fight an AD carry and she can't one-shot the AD carry, they're just going to jump away from her and kill her. So I would say she actually ends up being about the same. She's stronger against some champions, weaker against others. Victor, I think he's stronger and weaker, but overall, no, I'm actually gonna give Victor. I'm gonna give Victor one of the only mages I put at B tier. Here's the thing: Victor has enough good sustain damage with his E, with his Q being on decently low cooldowns. He's got good mobility. He's got good shielding. He's got good scaling. He's weaker in the early game and stronger in the late game, so he likes being tankier early. I should look to see if they're nerfing him badly. His shield's only going down by 3 to 10 with a 0.02 AP ratio. So I think Victor ends up being about the same. Vex. Okay, so Vladimir. Okay, I'm actually going to put Vladimir in A tier instead of S, which I know many of you are shocked by. But I think Vladimir relies a lot on burst damage and a lot on killing people during his W, that if he's ever caught out and anyone ever challenges him to a DPS race, like if he can't one-shot Kale and Kale can stand and auto him, he'll die. Really, really easy. If he can't one-shot Vygar, he'll die. Really, really easy. So I actually think he'll be better, but he won't be that much better. Volibear will be better. I don't think anyone's arguing with that. Okay, well, Vex isn't on this list. Vex is going to be significantly weaker. Renata's unfortunately not on this list. I got this on the League of Thingy website, and it did not have a lot of champions. Okay, so I would put Vex under D, maybe even. The thing is, Vex kind of needs to combo kill people, and if she can't combo kill people, she's not really that good. Okay, let's check out Vladimir. How badly did he get nerfed? 0 early game, 0 late game flat. Okay, the empowered heal, the flat didn't go down either. The AP ratio went down, the flat didn't go down. Huh. Less healing against minions. Okay, wait, what? Okay, so, yeah, he really didn't get any nerfs, to be honest. I definitely think he ends up stronger. Like, Vlad and Aatrox are both burst champions, but whereas Aatrox got his core item nerfed really hard, and Aatrox got his kit nerfed decently hard, Vladimir kinda didn't. His healing against minions barely went down, only on the empowered Q. His base healing didn't go down at all. Only the AP ratio healing went down. That's it. Okay. Vex got her shield nerfed. It doesn't matter. If Vex was on this list, I might put her in D tier. Vex is 100% based on burst, and unlike... The only reason I gave Annie the benefit of a doubt is she can spam her Q with a decent AP ratio. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. In all honesty, I should maybe put Annie down here. Annie, if she can't one-shot people, can she do anything? Wait, is Vex on the list? Oh, there we go. Bye, Vex. Okay, here's the thing. Annie and Vex are practically the same fucking champion, just with a different ult. And the problem is if they can't one-shot people, they just sit there. One of them goes, eh. One of them goes, eh. Vex goes underhand, Annie goes overhand. I don't fucking know. They just suck if they can't kill people. Volibear, W heal. The flat isn't nerfed. The missing health is nerfed. The E shield, AP ratio slightly down. Max health slightly down. The bonus health reduced 20 to 75. That's different. Huh. This isn't that bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. That's fine. He relies more on sustained damage. I don't think he's up here. Like, if I had to categorize within A tier, I would say that Darius is definitely going to do better than Volibear. 100%. But I think he's still overall, like overall, if you fight Volibear against, let's say, any of these champions, you fight Volibear against Victor, right? You're gonna be tankier, you're gonna heal less, you're gonna shield less, yes, but in return, he's got less penetration, and you have more magic resist, and you have more health, and you don't get one shot as easy, so you can continue to get in. And this is the important thing, Volibear will definitely be able to live to his W heals much, much easier. Warwick, wow, he barely got nerfed. Are you kidding me? Volibear's passive untouched. Warwick's passive untouched. Warwick's ultimate untouched. But his Q healing went from 30 to 90% to 25 to 75%. See, unlike Fiddlesticks kind of got the same nerf, but Warwick is 3 sources of healing, not just the 1, right? And they're only nerfing 1 out of his 3 sources of healing. So actually, I would say as compared to where he is now, he's definitely getting overbuffed. He would fit the criteria pretty hard. He has more health, more armor, more magic resist, so he's harder to burst. He does good sustain damage. It's harder to... Like, he can spend more time below 20% health. One auto attack won't wipe him out below 20% health. Divine Sunder still has the 20% armor and magic pen on it. I definitely think Warwick is being overbuffed with this change. So definitely, particularly with the healing debuff nerf, the only thing working against him is the barrier nerf. But that's not that big a deal. Let's see, Xin Zhao is getting a nerf to his heal. A pretty hard one. The AD ratio is going down by 30%. In addition to the flat healing going down. I think Xin Zhao ends up weaker, undeniably. He's losing 30% of his scaling healing. Ew. Are you kidding me? I don't think he was even going to be that good. Xin Zhao kind of relies on bursting people. If Xin Zhao doesn't burst you down, he doesn't do that much. Okay. Xayah goes up. I'll be honest, Xayah might actually be an S tier. But, I don't know. Probably not. I mean, did she get any changes? No. Yeah, I think Xayah's S tier. No, not S tier. She's A tier. I don't think she gets any noticeable improvements to make her S tier. But, yeah. Yasuo's shield is going down 15 to 40. That doesn't fucking matter. Are you kidding me? S tier. S tier. Both of them, S tier. Doesn't fucking matter. Are you kidding me? If you can't one-shot them, how do you fight them? Seriously, Riot? They do the most sustain damage of any champions in the game. Yeah, and then Yasuo's armor pen isn't nerfed. So wait, I'm not even gonna question it, Chad. Yone. Okay, let's look at Yone. The shield went down by 5, and the AD ratio went down. S tier. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. He lost 5, so 10 when he hits a champion. That's it. Who gives a fuck? Yorick lost Q healing. Once again, why are you nerfing out of combat healing? Right? That's stupid. If you nerf out of combat healing, they aren't healing debuffed, so they don't, like, I don't, okay. I think Yorick still gets buffed despite that, to be honest. To be honest, I think despite that nonsensical nerf, he still gets buffed. Probably for the best then, but it does make him weaker into ranged champions, so I don't really like making him weaker into ranged champions. Yuumi, okay. Yuumi gets a 4 nerf 4 on her heal, 4 to 40. So early game, it gets nerfed very insignificantly. Late game, so it's an 8 to 10% nerf. The AP ratio barely gets touched. Oh wait, no, that's her passive. Okay. Her shield... Oh, okay. Ooh, actually, okay, wait, her shield barely got touched, but her heal went from a 0.35 AP ratio to a 0.25. 0.25. That's a big nerf. I don't know if she's really getting buffed, to be honest. That means even if you don't healing debuff her, she's not really going to be healing for much of anything. Remember, guys, they are also nerfing... I think I passed it. Moonstone. So, yeah, I actually think Yuumi gets nerfed. That one's a nerf. They nerfed Moonstone and nerfed Yumi's heal really bad. I guess she's tankier, but who gives a shit? Zach, okay, so originally on the... Okay, I think they actually overcompensated for this one. Originally, Zach was going to get his healing nerfed from 4 to 7 to 3 to 4.5. Then they raised it to 3 to 5. Now they've raised it to 3 to 6.25. In my opinion, Riot, I think you actually overcompensated here. That's my opinion. I think the original nerf was way, way, way too bad. It was fucking insane. It basically just killed the champion. I think they overcompensated a bit now, and now he's barely getting nerfed. He's getting nerfed by 10%. Other healing champions are getting nerfed by like 20%. Zach, who heals on health and does great sustain damage, is only getting... So actually, I think Riot overcompensated Zach real hard. This should have been like 4 to 5, Riot. This was a bit, maybe 4 to 5.5. I understand late game Zach clearly will need a nerf, right? Like, I get it, but I mean, okay. Let me try to explain to you guys why I'm putting Zach into S tier. Under the old system, Zach, after a healing debuff, would heal 2.8% HP. Does everybody get that? That wasn't great. But now, Zach will heal 3.1% HP. So Zach will heal more in the late game with more health, doing percent health damage, doing good sustain damage. I think that's a little bit of an overbuff. Zach Blob's always dealt damage to himself. That's not changing. All that's changing is how much healing he'll get once he's healing debuffed, which will be higher. Demonic Embrace is getting nerfed. That's the thing. Demonic Embrace is getting nerfed. I don't think it will compensate for the fact that Zach is practically the only healing champion not getting nerfed. Okay, so then we have a bunch of picks. Oh wait, here's Akshan. Okay, Akshan, I might actually just put straight into S tier. I didn't notice he was actually on this list. So let's go over Akshan. Let me tell you. Akshan's passive shield is only being nerfed by 0 in the early game, 20 at level 18, and the AD ratio is only going from 0.4 to 0.35. Akshan is barely losing any shield. Barely. He can still go with an on-hit build, which does really good sustain damage. The only weaknesses he has is that he's going to be weaker in the early game. The only weakness he's going to be a bit weaker in the early game because people will be able to survive him a bit more. But the thing is, he's barely getting nerfed. He will be able to do, because he'll be tankier, he won't need to go shield bow. He'll be able to do Kraken Slayer into Wit's End, abuse the on hits. I think he actually is getting overbuffed. That's my opinion. Zed is weaker. I mean, everyone's getting tankier, so if they, like, if Zed misses one shuriken, he won't be able to kill people now. And he won't be able to kill people in one combo without his ultimate. Zed's getting into... I think he'll still be decent, but he's definitely getting weaker. Xerath, I'm going to put it about the same. Maybe a bit weaker, though. Maybe a bit weaker. I'm torn. Xerath not being able to be one-shot and having a better early game helps him a lot. Healing being reduced helps him a lot. I think he'll actually be about the same. He's getting a lot of advantages, but he's getting a lot of penalties. He won't be able to be one-shot. He won't be able to be killed early game, but he's going to do less damage, and people are going to be much tankier against him. Ziggs, I think he's getting nerfed. People are tankier. People will have more... people will be tankier, and Void Staff is getting nerfed. I think he'll be weaker. Vel'Koz is getting nerfed because Void Staff is getting nerfed. And he kind of does rely on his ult kill combo. Zilean, I think will be about the same. Are they changing anything about him? Wait, are they not nerfing Zilean? Well, I suppose I could have just done this. I think, Well, I think Zilean will be about the same. A lot of champions are getting weaker, and he'll be better in longer fights, but in return, he'll do less damage. I think it'll be about the same. Zoe's weaker. Zyra's weaker. That's my opinion. Most mages are going to end up weaker from this change. Some of them will end up broken as fuck. But overall, mages are mostly the burst champions. And AD carries are mostly the sustained damage champions. So most sustained damage champions, I think, are stronger. Most mages, I think, are weaker. Does everybody get that? So if you want to see the entire list at once. Oops, wrong button. Here is the entire list at once. This is my bullshit speculation, nonsense, stupidity. Does everybody get that? So, yeah. They're not categorized within each tier. So don't think I'm like categorizing them between each tier. Don't think like, oh, why did you rate Zyra lower than Swain? Like, you know, I'm just, overall, we're just saying, did they get overbuffed? Did they get buffed? Are they about the same? Did they get nerfed? Did they get over nerfed? I think a champion who gets nerfed, like Swain, could still end up being pretty good. Okay, do you guys get that? So, okay. So I was just managing one thing on my other monitor. That is going to be about that for the patch review. So far as anything else I need to go over, just remember, healing debuffs nerfed, armor pen items for the most part nerfed, some nerfs here, nerf. They actually said they were going to do a buff on Ghost Blade. Did that end up happening? Nope, they didn't buff Ghost Blade. Okay. Let's look through the bug fixes. Are there any funny ones? Ah, Shyvana gets more range on her Q. That's not a bug fix. That's a straight buff. So, Shyvana definitely looking a bit even stronger than I said. Shyvana now gets the 50 attack range on her Q. And for some reason they're listing that as a bug fix. Okay. Kind of just seems like a buff. Shyvana's Q will now hit inhibitors and Nexus twice. That is also a buff because that is literally never hit inhibs and Nexus twice. Spirit Visage will now amplify healing from Omnivamp. Sign will no longer be able to knock back Rift Herald using Roar the Slayer. Kled's R charge will no longer cause him to desync. Rengar's getting buffed. His Q will not get bonus attack speed against turrets. Lethal Tempo will now proc against champion clones. Anathema's chain's cooldown did not properly scale with item ability haste. Okay, that's weird as shit, but okay. Glacial Augment will now correctly be replaced by First Strike on champions who do not have CC. Just some dumb stuff there. Okay, let's look through the skins. High Noon Scion. Kind of hard to tell what... Is that Karthus? Victor. Kind of looks like Karthus. Kind of looks exactly like Karthus. This is Karthus. Why don't they just call this Karthus Victor? It's just Karthus Victor. Okay. High Noon Samira. Yeah, I guess. High Noon Tom Kench. Okay. High Noon Twitch. Okay. Okay, let's look in game. What do we got in game? Let me turn my camera off for this one so you guys can see. Actually, I like it. I actually like it. Better than all the other shitty Scion skins that they've released. The Victor one, why does he have a hat? The hat fucks with his silhouette. Didn't Riot say they weren't gonna fuck with the silhouette? And now they fuck with the silhouette by giving him a hat? Ugh. It doesn't look bad. Samira looks good. She looks good. Okay. Tom Kench. This kind of looks a lot like that one skin he just got. Does it not? Huh. High Noon Twitch. Why is his gun so big? Who does that remind you of? And that's it. That's it for the patch. So thank you all for being here. Now, for all of those who are still here, let me remind you all that you should join my Patreon. Why? Because when you join the Hashinshin Patreon, you are on my Patreon. So then you can be on my Patreon and, you know, let me not starve to death horribly because I make stupid videos on patch notes and shit like that. Anyway, let's read through my Patreon subscribers here. Wait 1 second. Oh, hold on. Oh, god damn it. It's shut up. It's screwing up, chat. Okay. Thank you, Monica, Vape Lord Volnir, Emiru, Blazenrock, Christoph Marks, Crash Pinho, Fire Digger, Jenny Schelbert, Guardian Lamartz, Horace the Burb God, Josiah Davila, Kokirli, Malice, Mau Runner, Omar Nunez, Philemon Landry, Sophie, Sophisticated Fart, Destroy, Amzarine, Ben G, British Mapper, Calum Niche, Creador, Daniel Fiala, Daisy Mew, Yadgod, Esteban Arias, Fel, Foniku, Full Yuki, Hentai with Senpai, Shun Arthur, Joseph Stalin, Kalfos Zeramar, Naptroll, Ludwig III, Manuel, Negative KDA, Noxian Scion, PKZ, Scorpion, Spook, Suki02, Taekwon, Tomato, Under, Uvo Plaja, Violin, WLC League of Legends, Wolfman, Yan Shuchi, Chingman Bang. I swear one of these days you guys are just going to say really nasty shit in another language. Anyway, thank you all for watching. You can find my Patreon in the link below. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to leave a comment. Make sure to leave your thoughts. All of you have a great rest of your day. And now I will, by force,